You saw the thumbnail. We got a lot going on in this video. We got a lot to unpack in this video. You're probably wondering why I'm putting all this in this car. What's the truck? That's the first thing we're going to talk about. But before we get into all that, I got to put all this in this car. I don't know if it's all going to fit. So the thumbnail and the title, we do have a lot of car parts to install. I don't know if we're going to get to all of them in this video, but we're definitely going to have the tires mounted, balanced, possibly put on the car in this video. That's another thing we got to talk about. But first, we got to get these tires on the wheels, aired up, balanced, ready to go. So I got to figure out how to put all this in here.
All right, y'all. So here we go. So the problem is we no longer have the truck. So what happened? Well, there's a story behind it. And I'll have to explain it one of these days, but I don't want to explain it right now because today's video is about car parts. But we no longer have the truck. I sold the truck.
All right, y'all. So we're in In-N-Out Tires, Louisville, Kentucky on Preston. Getting some tires on the Rota Grids. Y'all just saw that's what we got, some bronze Rota Grids. So it's going to be sick. It's going to be nice. Got to support my friends. So if you guys are out in Louisville, come out In-N-Out Tires. On Preston Highway.
You can't beat it though. That's crazy. We just seen some Rota Grids on the motherfucking little Civic EK earlier.
Dude, bronze wheels on a red Miata. Sick. Sick, bro.
It's gonna look good.
Yeah. So, dude, I got coilovers already, but I don't know if I'm gonna go soft or stiff yet. What? We'll see on the coilovers.
Stiff.
He says stiff. I ain't trying.
How low are you going?
I don't know yet.
You know you're going low, bro.
Probably.
Big ass guy in a fucking
He said, put in the work, y'all. Put in the work. He looked miserable, don't he? Look at him.
I am fucking miserable, bro. Stick your finger in it.
You crazy, bro.
So we're at the point of removing these now. We ran into a little dilemma. So I already have this nut taken off, but I'm gonna take you guys back here and show you something. No, so it's funny, these hubs are just like, you use a flathead to get them off. So every single one of these are the right lug nut. But for some reason, here, there, and let me double check because I actually haven't checked this tire over here or this wheel over here. So just the front two have, this is crazy, the front two have wheel locks for some reason. The back two, nothing. And obviously you can't change the back wheels and leave the front wheels on. So I ran into that dilemma, but I had to order a tool. I had to order multiple tools because I thought the first one would work. The first one did not work. And then I bought a set of lug nut removers. And I'm going to show you what they look like. I don't know if anybody's ever seen any of these. So they kind of have like, it's hard to see, but they kind of have like a reverse thread on here. It looks like, honestly like a flower petal that's kind of twisted inward. So what happens is when you start undoing it, it actually grabs on further and further into the lug nut, and eventually it starts getting tighter and tighter because it's conical as well on the inside, and then eventually it starts coming off. So I already got this one off. I don't have to worry about the back ones, but I only have to worry about the front ones. So today, I'm not sure how far we're gonna get, but I think I'm gonna do it all in one sweep. I think I'm gonna do the lowering, so I'm gonna be putting the coilovers on, as well as changing the wheels and tires. So I already have that. You guys have already seen that clip as well. So let's go ahead and do that. It's like a gazillion degrees outside. So it's going to take me probably 2 days to do this. All right, so here's what I've done so far. Taking these bolts out up here. I'm taking out the control arm link. Oh, you only have to disconnect one of them, because obviously we just needed to come off. And then I'll be taking this bolt off to disengage, essentially, or disconnect this old ass suspension. Look at it, it's all torn up and everything. So honestly, I've probably been here 20 minutes. It's not too bad, actually. I assume I could probably have this done in about 2 hours or so. But yeah. So here we have some Rota Grid V's. I've always liked these wheels, always. And so I mentioned the wheel lock situation. I did put my own wheel locks on here. The keys are in the car. So if somebody ever were to buy this car, they would get wheel locks with it. I do have to do an alignment. You should always do an alignment after you put new suspension parts on. Let's see. So I put this, it's a 15 by 8, and it's 195/50 on the tires. The thing is, so the suspension comes pretty much to the limit in the front for this particular setup. But in the back, I don't know how well y'all can see this, there is probably 3 inches of space, maybe 2 inches of space, 2.5 inches of space above the tire back there. So I do have to lower it. I put everything together just to see what it would look like from the factory in terms of the new coilovers, but the backs do need to be lowered quite a bit to reach the same level as we have in the front. I drove it around. There's no rubbing. There's nothing happening in the front. Obviously, the back will be fine once it gets lowered. The only thing I haven't done is gone over like bumpy roads or speed bumps or anything to see if it bottoms out or if the car scrapes or anything like that. So I would say it doesn't scrape, considering we're probably 5, maybe 4 inches from the ground. So I would say it doesn't scrape. So that's the car parts we got. So far, I have one more thing to install. So hub-centric rings to make sure everything fits snug. 15 by 8 Rota Grid V's. These are bronze. Obviously, you can't tell by looking at them. 195/50 on the tires. Pretty much sits flush right here. There's a little bit of poke. Now, like 195/50 on the tires is a little bit of stretch, but not enough to where it's like scary. It's literally just enough to make it look like it, instead of poking out, it's just a little bit flush to the rim here, to the wheel. But other than that, it's typically most people want a little bit of poke out, but nope, I wanted a little bit more flush. So 195/50 is what I went with, and it looks great. It looks great. I will be replacing these. I replaced the headlights a while back. There's a few things I've done to it. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the car is considered a daily driver now. I sold my truck, and now I am driving the Miata around as needed. So I did change the headlights because the other headlights, the originals, are pretty bad. And other than that, just have to lower the back, put on my final car part, which I guess I don't know, I'll probably do that in another video, because this video is mainly about the wheels, tires, and suspension set. And the next car part that I'm going to show is essentially aesthetics only, so it's not really a big deal. So that's where we're at. My wife says I should probably change these from chrome to something else, which also means I'll have to paint or wrap this little bit here where the hard top would go. I don't know what we're going to do. If we're just going to go black door handles, or if I should paint them bronze. Nah, I'll probably just do black. So you do feel a little bit more, because obviously it's performance. So you do feel a little bit more bumps. But you know, the crazy thing is, I felt bumps in the stock suspension, and I feel bumps in this suspension, but for some reason this suspension just rides the bumps a lot better. And you would think, because it's a performance suspension, that it wouldn't do that, but It does really good. Like it's not like a bump and then you like feel it in your spine. It's more like a gradual. It's really good. So the stock wheels are 14 by 5.5, I want to say. So these are 15 by 8. So they're already way wider than the factory wheels. So it does feel like you got a lot more traction essentially. Like right now I'm hitting this curve and normally, oh, there you go. I felt it rub. It rubbed on the fender liner, so I might have to take the fender liner off. So I hit that curve pretty fast, probably going 50 miles an hour, and the car did tilt a little, so I felt it hit or rub on the liner, so I might have to take the liner off. So I'm about to make a sharp turn into the Lowe's parking lot. Let's see what I hear. I didn't hear anything. I'm not hearing nothing. So I may have to go slightly higher in the front. It looks like it's hitting. It's not even hitting the. So it's hitting the fender liner, but it's hitting the screw that attaches the fender liner to the fender, which is about an inch away. But whenever obviously you hit a bump, it gets closer, and the screw obviously sticks out about a 1/4 inch. So I'm hoping that's what's gonna do it. Taking the screw out. But if not, I'll probably have to roll the fender. We got some modifications we need to make. Maybe raise the front a little until we can figure out the camber situation. I do have to get in alignment. Lower the back. I really want to figure out what was rubbing, because like if it's a fender liner, I don't mind taking it out. But if it is that screw, obviously it has to be raised. So there you go. So with that said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. I will be putting more stuff out in the future. With that said, see you later. Peace.